Hi there, Christy with Raising Brave Readers. So glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about irregular words or word lists. Your school might call them sight words, heart words, lists to learn, whatever they are. When you looked at that list of words, you thought, oh my goodness, my child has to memorize all those words. I'm here to tell you, you do not have to memorize them all. But let me show you what you can do to help your child. So one, you don't have to memorize them all. So you're going to see so many of these words like the and of, and those two are really truly irregular. They don't make sense. They don't match the logic of how our English works. And so eventually, like the kind of makes sense later, but of just simply doesn't. And so we do have to memorize a couple of them, especially early on, but not that many because there are so many that follow a pattern. So let's look at these. These are almost always on that list that your child has to learn. And we have is, has, and that z sound is often spelled with this letter. Then we have he, she, we, me, be. Those are often on that list, but you don't have to memorize them all individually. We can think about the sounds. So that's number two, start with the sounds. Always, always, always start with the sounds. So when you were a baby, when your child was a baby, first they were listening, then they were speaking. And so we're using that listening piece to build a capacity to read and learn. So here we go. We have she. We can break it apart sound by sound. Sh, e. We can think about the word that. Th, a, t. Three sounds, but we're learning that the th sound can be spelled with those two letters. So think about the sounds first. That is the number one thing. Think about the sounds first. So one, you don't have to memorize them all, and your child doesn't have to memorize them all. Two, start with the sounds, start with the sounds, start with the sounds. Think of it as a mantra. Start with the sounds. What are the sounds I hear? And you just close your eyes and think about them. And don't think about the spelling, think about the sounds. And number three, we have made a bunch of word lists, a bunch of playlists for you for those words that are irregular and tricky and they need to know early on in their reading. And you can go find them and they can help you, and we break it apart sound by sound for you to see for yourself. I would love to see your word lists from your school. And if you have a word that is giving your child difficulty and you're kind of stumped, how do I help my child? Would you drop it in the comments so that we can make a video for you? So thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, pass it on to another friend who is also looking at that word list going, oh my goodness, where do I start? And you can tell them, start with the sounds. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.